Well, hello and welcome everyone to Social Media Myths Busted. I'm Laura Rubenstein, and today I have a very special guest with me today. It's Lisa Mininni, my dear friend and colleague and systems expert. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Laura. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Tell us about you and what your work is focused on and what your vision is.
Awesome. Well, I'm the best-selling author of Me, Myself, and Why, The Secrets to Navigating Change, and creator of the Accelerated Success Institute for Entrepreneurs. And it's where I teach my entrepreneurial edge system, which really takes a very holistic systems approach to profitability. And that's what I teach to entrepreneurs in over 11 countries now. So really good to be here and be able to share with you all about what has been successful in social media for me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your journey in social media. Did you love it or hate it initially?
um, did I love it or hate it? I think initially when I started, it was so unknown, right? It was just so, what do you do? How do you do? And I made all the mistakes that you can make on social media because, and this is something that I now teach because I learned the hard way, is, I was using techniques on social media that were now outdated because a lot of people that get on the social media platforms are, many of them are in their second stage careers. They're starting businesses for the very first time. Social media, they don't understand. They have all these, mindsets about social media, like it's just, a bunch of people sharing a bunch of personal stuff. And I entered it many years ago that way too. And also, I think the biggest misconception I had about social media was that it was a platform to broadcast, right? So I did a lot of broadcasting at first, and it's very much more like networking online, right? You would never meet somebody, shake hands with them, and say, buy my stuff. Yet, that's what a lot of newbies on social media do, is they broadcast rather than saying, hey, Laura, nice to meet you. Tell me about your business. You would do that in person, so why wouldn't you do that on social media? Well, you would. That's more like what the social platforms are about.
So, in what way has social media helped your success after you got through and learned that it's more of a networking style?
Well, then I got clients.
How?
Now, through that whole process, I found that um, it's important for the relationship building, number one. Number one, relationship building. Number two, there's a way to add systems that will help you connect and not get overwhelmed with social media and really incorporate it into the rest of your business. And I remember, it was funny, one of my clients to this day, we met on Twitter, and he tells the story actually of when he met with me. We were both online at the same time and on Twitter, and I was kind of figuring it out, having conversations on Twitter, and he looked and he's like, wow, I really like what she's talking about. How far do I have to travel to find, to learn from her? And what was funny was he looked at my Twitter profile and said, oh my gosh, and we ended up being in the same in the same city. And it was funny. He goes, I don't have to travel at all. She's right in my backyard, almost literally. And so ever since then, we've been working together, and he's catapulted his business from taking a systems approach to profitability from literally in 120 days. He went from really struggling to his first five-figure month, and from there on, created recurring income from what he learned. So that's the power of connecting on social media.
And he's been a really good client throughout the years now. Do you know what he was searching for or how he found you?
I don't know specifically, but I do know that he was on Twitter at about the same time. He must have connected with other people in the geographic area, which is what I'm recalling from things that he said, and um, and I think he also did a search on business a business topic, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, that usually happens, and it's really cool when you're connected to people in your area. That's what I love about social media is you can meet people around the world and in your neighborhood that you never would have otherwise met.
Well, exactly. Oh, I know, and it was funny because I think once we connected and we started talking on Twitter, we realized we were going to be at the same meeting the following day.
Oh,
And
that's
so we
funny.
ended up meeting up at the same business networking meeting the following day.
That's awesome. I
And
think, yep.
and I use that same if I'm going to say a networking in another city, or if I'm going to a conference in another city, I'll go on Twitter and start connecting with people months in advance that I'm going to go there, so that I can do either a meetup or something like that, and really connect with people at the conference and say, hey, who's going to this conference, and start connecting before I even get there.
Yeah, I mean, taking your online connections offline is where the business happens.
Hmm.
Just like any networking meeting, like you say, it's like you're not going to sign up a $10,000 client right at a networking meeting the first time you meet them, or even the second or third, but you might have an off meeting, private meeting to discuss same thing online, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what, I think originally when social media came up, there was a lot of, oh, great, it's free, it's a low-cost way to market your business. And they forgot about, but it's social. It's, it's almost like even if they knew that you had to create relationships, they forgot about that when they went online. And I think that's the thing to remember, that it could have the same cycles, and it's a strategic approach to social media. You want to connect with people, you want to be yourself, but you also want to be strategic about it, because if you're not, it could really absorb a lot of your time, so you spend so much of that without really focus. And if you're approaching social media in that way, and casting a wide net, trying to be everything to everyone, and I say this about attracting clients, you'll be nothing to no one because it's just so big. So it's really good to connect with people, and by far I suggest that people utilize social networking as part of their business system. So for example, if you're networking in person, that's one touch point. Great, you meet them, they meet you in person. The second touch point, you want to send them a card in the mail. The third touch point is you want to connect with them on social media to expand, that third touch point, and then now integrate it into your business.
So let's talk about the focus system. And that
Mhm.
saves time. You said if you do it right and you use systems, you can save a lot of time. What is that focus system that will save them time?
Yeah, well, first of all, I usually start with my clients in helping them identify their ideal or preferred client. We call it a preferred client profile. So once you know that, it's real easy to say, okay, where do these preferred clients hang out? Especially like your hardwiring and really getting the hardwiring of your clients. The majority of ones that you connect with, they come in, and by hardwiring is something you're born with. It emerges about 1.5 to 2 years old, and it stays with you your entire lifetime. The key is that we will naturally communicate through your natural hardwiring, and some people, just by the nature of how they're wired, like their information in certain ways. Some like their information in bullet points. Others like a lot of information. Some people like their information more tangible and concrete. while others are more about the relationships. Now, if you know this about your preferred clients, you'll be able to do several things. Number one, you'll be able to identify your social media marketing platforms where they hang out. So a lot of my clients hang out on Twitter. Why? Because it's brief. You know, how many characters? 170 characters or whatever. Um, so they like their information short, concise, quick. Other people will like other platforms simply by the nature of that platform. And so it's important to know and really understand what's called the psychometrics of your ideal clients. And when you do, you'll know what social media platform to really focus on.
It's kind of like when they say, what I'm getting from this is when you're in sales, you have to modulate yourself to your client style or your prospect style.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like if you have a client that's maybe one way, but then you also attract more, the bullet point, and then you attract someone who's more shy, introverted, and needs more relationship building. That, for example, if Facebook is a place that both of those hang out, in your market in particular, then some of your posts and some of your communication should be bullet pointed. Some of them should be longer, story-like, to attract. And then when you go engage with them, if you know how they like it, and you can see from their posts that
Yeah.
this is really cool, that you can really engage with them at their level and really build that rapport and relationship.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you'll know really how to structure some of the things that will help pre-qualify them too. Like, how do you structure your website messages? How do you structure your sales flow and funnel? And when they're going through that funnel, what does that look like? How do you engage them? How do you motivate them throughout the whole process? So yeah, absolutely.
Can you give us an example, maybe how you're structuring yours and who your type of client is, or maybe a
Yeah,
client, whichever?
sure. A good majority of my clients have a high sense of urgency. They like their information quickly, and they're results oriented. Because and they also get the value of systems. And by systems, I don't mean just automation or just systemization, but they get that, oh, wait a minute, I have to systematize. I can really leverage my business and myself when I have those systems. So they get that conversation. They understand the concept of that. And they're individuals that really take no excuses. They're like, yep, let's do this, let's go, and they implement. They're implementers. So those are my preferred clients. So one of the key things that we've done actually over time is really take a look at how we're delivering our messages. That's real key, because some of the key points and changes that we made to my website have that kind of profile in mind as we're creating those messages. So we've gone to shorter registration pages on our websites. We've gone to being able to read a registration page very quickly by some of the subtitles. We've added different tangible things to testimonials, and things that are going to resonate with people that are naturally wired that way.
And are you seeing some tangible
Oh,
differences in
absolutely,
results?
yeah. Absolutely. So what we see is, and my practice has actually grown in the second stage business. Those have reached $1 million or over. They have it between 10 and 100 employees, and that is a specific niche. And franchise owners is a growing niche for me, because they really get that concept of leverage and the necessity to leverage if they're going to grow their business.
Nice. That's fabulous. And do you have any other stories about how, um, any surprising results on social media, either for you or a client, or any positive boons that you experienced?
Yeah, I think also through, I've also recognized uh, where my clients weren't. And so, but the necessity to still be there from a social standpoint. And Facebook doesn't tend to be my platform, but LinkedIn does. Okay, and when communicating on LinkedIn, certain things work, certain things didn't, and it was really the okay, what works, what doesn't work. Individuals on LinkedIn tend to be more, fact based and just don't necessarily want the fluff, but they do want some cordial professional interaction.
Right. So knowing where to go and where to spend your time is crucial. Are there any other, is there any other systems advice you want to give everyone, and or say something about that?
I would, because I think a lot of times that people have this perception that, oh, they got to spend so much time on social media, when in reality there are really amazing systems like Hootsuite that will help you integrate social media so you don't always have to be on there. You have to have a presence on there. You do have to have some engagement, but you can also use these systems to continuously engage with people. And that when you're using those systems can still be engaging. It's how you use those systems to engage people. And so you can still accomplish that, still be systematized, still be automated, and really engage people.
Are there any other systems you want to describe that might help people? A specific system?
Wow, there are, You know what I think is probably the easiest thing that people don't even realize that they can use, and that is a simple PowerPoint presentation. Because a lot of people are like, oh, how do I create those really great posters or memes that are on social media? I don't know how. You know how to use PowerPoint? Simply put up a PowerPoint presentation, do about 10 tips on there, 10 slides, save it as a JPEG. You've got 10 slides that you can put up on social media as JPEGs. It's that simple. So, I mean, most people have that on their computers already. So it doesn't take a lot to be effective on social media with things you already have.
So it's about the tools and the timing, the tools and the timing perhaps that you put into social media to make it more effective and efficient. So, um,
And how you're integrating it into the rest of your marketing, because social media is just one way to market. There are so many other ways, but how do you really integrate it? And this is something we talk about in the integrated marketing model that we've launched through the Entrepreneurial Edge system. Is how do you take the blogs, take the social media, and really integrate it so that you're using it too, not only to connect with people, but also as a lead generator.
Beautiful. I believe that one of the greatest benefits of social media is driving traffic back to your sites, your sales pages, your blogs, so that you can build your community of your own.
Yeah, oh,
And
absolutely. Yeah. And you're just such an expert at doing that, Laura. I just love the way you focus on the relationship building and what it means to build a community, and you do that exceptionally well.
well, thank you. It's fun, and we are busting through myths left and right here. How can people find you and get more information on systems and finding their natural hardwiring and understanding their clients' hardwiring? I mean, you are a wealth of incredible foundational information that makes businesses really hum.
Oh, thanks. They can go to my website, accelerateassociates.com, EXCELLERATE associates.com, and at the top they can put their name and email, download the free ebook, Get More Clients Now, 3 Steps to More Clients, More Money, and a Business You Love.
Woohoo! Great. Thank you so much for that gift and
Well,
for being the awesome systems and generous person you are. You always have wisdom and I love our conversation. So we'll be talking again real soon.
oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Laura.
You're welcome.